I'll cut that out of the recording mix. Hi, ladies. They're still rolling in, so we're going to give it a couple minutes. Here comes Lisa. Mama Bundle's here. Awesome. Ryan's mama. Hi, Christine. Look how
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited I get to be here today.
This is so exciting. This is your first mom's group, right?
Yes.
And it's a year today. This is our anniversary, Christine.
I know.
Today is our anniversary of knowing you. You came for your first consultation the day before Thanksgiving last year at the Airbnb we were renting.
I remember it well.
Yeah. Wow.
Saved our lives.
Oh man. Well, your boy was at group this morning. He's got Thanksgiving off too, so that's cool. I always worry those who work in the service industry. I'm always worried, like, are they going to be working and miss the holiday? But he's not, so he'll be here with us tomorrow.
Did he work last night? I didn't see him.
I think he must have, because he wasn't at group last night. He's looking good though.
Glad to hear it.
Everybody. Well, hi, Jody. This is Jody's first mom's group too.
It is. I'm working from home today, so it just worked out.
Awesome. Perfect timing. Well, obviously we have a good treat today. Art doesn't join mom's group very often. Every once in a while he will. And today for Thanksgiving week, it was perfect. Last night's group was great. It was so beautiful. Becky will hop on when she can. She had a hair appointment. When she does hop on, she'll just kind of have her earbuds. But last night was so beautiful. Hopefully you all got to listen, even if you weren't there live last night. Hopefully you got to watch the recording, and it was so beautiful. So
I don't want to interrupt. I mean, if there's questions, I can do that. But if not, I can bow out and let you guys.
So you bring questions, ladies. We're not letting them sneak out, so bring on the questions. That was so good. So this is Jody's first mom group, but I don't think Carrie has ever been on a mom's group. Mama Bundle? No. Yeah, you haven't ever been able to join us on a mom's group. Once. Okay. Okay.
Nope, this is my first. Okay. There's no golf today.
Oh, perfect.
I know.
Perfect. I know it's a busy day for everybody too. It's crazy here too. We got all the last minute things to get prepared for Thanksgiving, a big feast tomorrow. We got 20 of your loved ones with us tomorrow, and us too. So we're going to have an incredible Thanksgiving. So rest assured your loved ones in good hands if they're here with us. And but for now, let's just take this hour and get what we need to get. And anything that moved you last night, I know it moved me to see. And I could see those of you moms. I popped up on the screen. I could see it touched you as well, because we all really related. And so let's talk. Dave's here. I'm going to mute the Stampalias just for now. Who's first?
So what really struck me was the glove analogy, and it wasn't to the end until you were talking directly with Carrie. And it was really that, like, okay, take off the mom glove, put it away, you're done, right? And I was like, I know you've told me that before, and it's been something I've had to like think through before, but it was like, yep. And I don't know how many times, I mean, this is like clean up your room, right? How many times do you have to tell somebody to take off the mama glove until they finally get it? And I don't know if that's something that we just need reminders of from time to time or what, but it's like, I really appreciate that Carrie asked about, like, for the people in the room, you know, how does it hit them, right? And moving from mom and like action maker and things like that into like mentor peer role model. That was really impactful for me.
Well, and I want to add on to Sherry's. I'm looking for your text here because I just want to make sure that specifically your question was addressed. I mean, I think overall, but I wanted to still maybe not, because I had actually a question, Sherry, when your message was on. So Sherry's question was, if Art is able to do a follow-up talk on Tuesday, I have questions. Ease and disease and how we consider the internal disease, my insecurities, the external disease, other stuff. And how do we process these things?
Mhm.
How do we reconcile and get rid? This was the piece.
Yeah.
How do we reconcile and get right with our loved ones? I apologize to Brian for laying my junk on him, but I guess I need to forgive myself now. And I was wondering, I just wanted to dive more into that and what's going on, because one of my thoughts was, is there anything even that there is to, I think sometimes we can get stuck as moms thinking we need to just apologize for stuff and not, maybe that's not even, I just wanted to dive
for
into
me,
that.
I just recognized it. I saw it and I recognized it and I was like, look, I got stuff and sorry for putting my stuff on you. And it was funny because he was like, no, don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Right.
Yeah, because wouldn't that just give them an excuse to act out or have their behaviors because, my mom imprinted all this bad stuff on me, so now I'm just gonna go and be a rotten kid. But that I really don't think that that's justifiable if you really think about it. Like, as a mom, we're going to hold guilt, but the more I go through these sessions and listen to what Art says, what is there to apologize for? You might apologize if you stepped on their foot or ran over their cat, but you wouldn't apologize for all the shit that you did, because what do we know?
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
I think more what, I get what you're saying, Mitra, but I think more for Sherry, like I've heard that there's like a pattern. I'm always like kind of recognizing some patterns through the years.
Yeah.
And with you, Sherry, just like from the beginning, the very first consultation to the private coaching, what I'm recognizing as a common theme that comes up from you is this feeling that you have something. I apologize for laying my stuff on you. I apologize for this and that. And so I want an opportunity to dive in further into that.
Yeah. Mine was
you're not at risk of Oh, sorry.
Mine was the expectations that I was putting on my son. Like, I expect you to do these things, right? And so I was laying my expectations on him. And I think that, I personally, it was probably crushing, right? It was probably a lot of weight for him to carry that he shouldn't have had to carry because of my insecurities. We're really open and talk about these kind of things now. So it's like, it's just an open conversation now, but part of it is me recognizing, this is my junk and me being able to kind of reconcile my own stuff with it,
So one of the reasons I wanted to come on here is, I want y'all to start from a place where you would say, I don't love my son. I don't love my daughter. Okay, please start there.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to love your son or love your daughter. Okay, now, what's stopping you? And I'm not talking about love like an obligation. I'm not talking about love like service. I'm talking about what's stopping you right now from looking at your son or daughter and loving everything about them.
Nothing.
Yeah, but see,
Or you.
okay, so
Us
No.
as an individual, we're stopping ourselves from truly seeing the person in front of us.
but
Or
what's
the
what? So
out
what
of
comes up instead of love? What comes up?
Frustration.
Fear.
Anger.
Okay. So fear, judgment. Don't those things come up when you look at your kid?
They
I mean-
came up more before than they do now for us.
Yeah.
Because we've been going through this for so long that I was telling Dave this morning, I feel like we've got a teenager back in our house that we don't necessarily have to set rules per se with him, but we have to kind of go one step at a time with him so he he understands what he needs to do. I feel like I'm re-raising him because we went through 15 years of him being on drugs.
Yeah.
And we lost the teenage part of him. But I'll tell you now, he is the most loving, affectionate kid ever. He tells me when he's leaving, when he's going to work, if he's going to go to the gym, if he's going to go anywhere else. Usually he doesn't do that. He comes straight home. But we never had that with him. We didn't have communication. He would never tell us where he was going. He would just take off. But he's gathered a lot more responsibility. He's working. He paid for his own car. We're paying for the insurance right now because he's just started back to work again. He's had so many setbacks.
So I get your scenario. I understand that he's become easier to love.
Yeah.
Okay. And so to be able to start from a place of honesty and to say that when I'm with and I'm not talking about you, Pam, I get what you're saying. I'm talking about for others to say love is an experience. How many of you, when is the last time you've had the experience of love with your son or daughter? The experience.
I know exactly when the last time I did, like truly. And that was when I picked her up from a park next to the homeless camp she was staying. And she was walking towards me, and I just looked at her and I cried because I just, she was there. And it was pure. It was like I hadn't seen her, and I didn't cry for any other reason except she was right there, and I saw her, and I knew that she was just there. Like it was sad, but it wasn't sad. It was just a moment.
Okay, let's start with Becky Wiggins. Our Becky. Becky's struggling with her son, Brett. You all know that, correct? So what's in the way of Becky loving Brett?
Is it her junk? The junk that's past?
The human, our expectations that we want them to be a certain way. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Well, why is it easy to say with Becky?
Oh, I'm not saying it's easy. That was one thing that I had to learn for myself because it was my own expectation that I wanted for my son and his life that created my own pain. And I had to let go of what I wanted him to be and just let him be and take his journey and love him for the light that he is, not love him for his behavior, because you can love them and still disagree with their choices.
Okay, to attain the experience of love that you're talking about, what was the practice that led to that?
It was me being more aware of myself, my behaviors, me being just more present to what was going on with myself. So it was taking that focus inward, because it's like, I really believe like where our attention goes, our energy will flow. And so if we're constantly putting a spotlight on something, it's going to manifest. And so once I started to change what I was focusing on and I started focusing on me, then that's what changed for me. It was being mindful. It was breathing. It was, trying to not worry about him and just focus on me being a better person.
Okay. And specifically when you said focusing on you, what would that look like?
So in that time, I was living in fight or flight mode, right? So I was really trying to practice just taking better care of myself, my nervous system, Maybe it was focusing on, okay, today I just need to eat better. I didn't sleep well last night. So sometimes it came down to just really being practical.
Yeah. Okay. Can anyone here say they don't love their son or daughter? Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
I used to hate my son because I hate, because like Dave said yesterday, he said everything we told him not to do, he did,
Yep.
and then some.
And then everything you told him to do and thought you were guiding, he didn't do.
Yeah. But now
I've
we
got-
don't have the arguments anymore with him. It's amazing. He just, he goes, okay, he may ask a question, but we don't have this combative battle with him anymore.
Yeah,
So he's he's finally growing up at 34.
you and Dave have had a multifaceted journey with your son, and you guys have been through the accident and then the drugs, where I think that puts you in a different room occasionally than the rest of us of the journeys that you've had to go through.
Well, if anything, the length of time that we've been through it.
Yeah, I did some math this morning. So we've been this for 15 years, which is half of Kyle's life and a quarter of my life. I'm 60.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a number. That's
You
a
don't look
big number.
60.
Well, good genes. Good genes. Thank you. But I'm just the word that I have right now is apathy, lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. And I'm going to say that that's true for Kyle also. And I'm just now admitting that he's talked the family talk. I think intrinsically he understands the family, but he has no ambition to be and to give to the family and to be in the and to participate. I send him a text, hey, and I'm talking to him like a tenth of what we normally talk. And he'll say, hey, what are you doing today? And I'll tell him what we're doing today. And it's the end of the year, so everybody's going to the doctor's appointments. His response is cool. Cool? That's all you have. Okay. And the triangle thing, beautiful. It's helped me in a lot of other relationships and happenings that we have, elder parents and homeowners association lawsuits. So it's helped me to, step off many triangles.
Now, what if, because you were a person that raised your hand and said you don't love your son, and there's not an experience of love with you and Kyle right now. And what if that experience was something that was all on you?
What would that look like?
So, you told me why you can't love Bundle.
Why I'm not right now.
Okay, but let's stop this right now. Later stuff. Can someone love you? Can anyone? Will you feel happy if somebody goes, "I don't love you right now, but I love you"? Is that anyone like to hear that from their husband?
No.
Like to hear that at all? Hey, I don't love you right now. What that suggests is me loving you is your problem. and you need to fix it so that you get me to love you. So now I'm asking, what if someone could admit, one, I don't love my kid right now, and two, loving my kid is my responsibility above all other. And when I say loving my kid, not like an obligation, not like I'll do things for him, absolutely getting myself and my experience to a place that comes to a clearing so that when I'm with my kid currently, I could have the experience of love. How would somebody go about the business of doing that?
I don't know.
Well, Jennifer had it. Jennifer had what she was saying, and we'll put that to the test. But I could try to make her not love me right now and see how that would go. But what I mean by that is that what is stopping you from loving your kid right now is not your.
You know
kid.
what? Yeah.
Okay.
Us being able to have a two-way, honest conversation, and it would be Kyle telling me what his intentions are with his life, and
So
and
I
then-
asked, what would it be if it was your responsibility? And then you said two-way. I said, what would it be like if it was your responsibility to love him and have the experience of love with Kyle? I want you to answer that, not what anything Kyle would have to do.
to be love.
To be loved. Now, what's in the way?
My acceptance of him living the life that he's living, knowing what the last 2 years, what the bright spots of the last 2 years were, and that he walked away.
That he fucked it up.
Okay. Now you're back on. Now you started the sentence with responsibility and you ended it with blame. So I'm going to ask again. You said, what's in the way of my love for Bundle? And then you said, my acceptance. And the sentence ends there. Now, what's in the way when you're with Bundle or thinking about Bundle? What is the actual thing that's in the way? What's going on with you that blocks you from loving him?
I guess I'm going to stop at acceptance.
Well, there's something that your mind is doing. It's something your mind is doing. We can either be in love or we can be in this. So you're not in love with Bundle, you're in judgment.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So what's stopping you from loving him is your own judgment. Now, let's find out where that judgment comes from. Why could it be some other person's kid? And they could be struggling with the exact same thing that Bundle's struggling with. And they could come up on a stage or they could come somewhere and they could say, for 2 years I did well. And then I fell off and I got this girlfriend and she's not. And you could look at that stage. And if that person was up there telling the truth, you would feel enormous love for that person.
Key word there was truth. If somebody was standing up there and telling the truth.
You're back to blaming Bundle. Now, what do you have to rid yourself of? Judgment. I got to rid myself of judgment. Judgment comes from what?
Expectation.
Values.
Judgment comes from our insecurities. We are unsure. We are insecure. Our body feels not right. So the more insecure a human being is, the more judgmental they are.
I'm
And in
not
order
an
to-
insecure person.
Yes, you are, or you wouldn't have judgment.
I'm not, you know.
Now, insecure is a feeling that we get. Insecure is not something that you could name. It's not something that you could identify. It's not something that you could say, my insecurities are spiders and anything like that. Insecurities are what puts our body tight. It tightens our body. So when you're around somebody and your body gets tight and you go, ooh, and you're annoyed.
Like right
or you're
now?
Yes. Right now, your body is tightening and you're insecure because you don't want to look insecure. See, insecure is just a feeling in the body. If I am feeling insecure, I will get very judgmental about my situation. If I walk into King County Jail and I'm got my head down and my body is in fear, I'm going to start judging everything around me to protect myself from that thing.
So are you saying, Art, that judgment is the like physical manifestation of the feeling of insecurity?
It's the mental manifestation, yes. It's the mental manifestation of a feeling in my body. If I'm in the line at the bank and my body gets really tight because the line is long, I am insecure. I am not at ease. I am at a dis-ease. As soon as I get at that dis-ease because of my insecurities, I will blame the teller. I will look around and start judging how they do bank stuff. I will then make myself superior and say, I would never run a bank this way. And so I will get very judgmental about what's going on around me. Now, if I am secure and I am love and my body gets tight and I go, there's my body getting tight. Okay, now my mind, if I feel it in the body, my mind won't go to judgment. So the practical application to mindfulness, what it means is I understand what's going on in my body and I am present to what's going on in my body. I am present to my heart rate. See, before you say something to Bundle that's not loving, your heart went from boom, boom, boom to boom, 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 boom. And then as soon as it went boom, 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 you go, Bundle, you didn't. And then we try to protect ourselves and we try to neutralize it. So this heart rate thing is our letting us know of our insecurities. You see, if you are driving in a car and somebody almost cuts you off, that's insecure. You will feel insecure. Your mind.
For my safety.
Yes. So this is the same thing. Bundle makes you feel unsafe. He threatens everything there is to threaten. Your reputation as a mother, your reputation as a family. He threatens the way you look. He threatens
Even financially.
financial threats.
Financially. Yeah.
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 Well, let's
So,
not say
so-
that. Let's not say that because you can't honestly tell me that he's going to have a financial impact on you that ever changes your life. It's not.
And you know what? And it's none of his business what my finances are. And it's
Well,
not.
I watched him looking up your bank account information last night just to see how far he could take this. So
Well, good
he
for
has
him.
found your password and he was saying, okay, She's got 1.2 million. I could be in
He's
treatment.
joking.
I could be in treatment for the next 10 years. Okay, good. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in treatment for 10 years. Yeah. Everyone's laughing but you, Carrie.
Too
Well,
soon, dude.
I am
Too soon.
because it's all very true. Because I mean, we're retired. You know, we want to live a long time, right? And we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And it's none of his. He's 30, I'm going to be 31 years old. He's walked away from a job that made him a lot of money. And, you know, if he was somebody else's kid and we were talking to them or we were talking about them behind their back and we were in judgment about that person and their child, we would say, God, they need to cut him loose. Why do they keep putting up with that bullshit?
Okay, I came on today because I want to make sure that that you know, it's possible that, let's just say it was possible. Let's say that the answer for your kid to improve in any fashion in life, that the answer for their improvement to come out of what they're doing right now is to somebody that sees them perfectly right now. And without that person that sees them perfectly right now, they will never make it. Now, why can't you be that person? Why do you got to send them off to someone else? See, everyone, it's true. You want to send them to treatment, and then you want someone to love them for who they are right now. But I don't want to do that. See, that's the predicament. That's why I'm here. That's it. Because I would probably have to do the same thing, right? I got somebody that's really close to me, and I like dominated by them, and I can't love them, and they're ruining my day. They're taking my money, and then I go, somebody help this dude. Somebody love this little piece of shit for what he is. And I would probably, that's what you're saying. I love him, but not now. But right now, take this piece of shit and turn it into something that I can love again. And that's what's going on here. And that's why I get to get paid. Because what I had to learn was to love them right now. I had to learn how to do that. And when I took on that responsibility, I realized this is how it started for me. I went to a place called Clean Treatment Center in LA. I'd been in the business for about 4 or 5 years treating addicts. And I went to the treatment center and they were speaking in a room about how much they care and love the people in their place. And it was fraudulent and it was bullshit. And I saw it as fraudulent and bullshit. And I was the only one that I raised my hand and said, I don't love my clients. And in fact, I pretty much hate them. And they were stunned, and I was an asshole. And I said, you guys love your clients? I go, they fucking suck. Everything about them fucking sucks. They lie, they fucking cheat, they fucking, they don't put away their dishes, they don't make their bed, they fucking suck. And I felt it. But then I got to a place after I admitted that I don't love them, that I got to a place where I went, okay, this shit's on me. Because I have one of two options. I can keep doing drug treatment and hate everything about it. Or I can figure out how to love them right when they walk in the door. And by love them, I don't mean some kind of thing like I go up and hug them and say, I love you so much. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the experience of acceptance, non-judgment, seeing that every reason I hated them was everything for what they were doing to me. Was the way they were making my program look. The way they didn't make their bed. That wasn't for them to make their bed. They need to make their bed so my goddamn program looks good. I can't have people in here not making their bed and have my program look like a terrible program. I can't have you get high. We're not going to talk about why you got high. I need you to know not to get high in my program because you're defaming my reputation. And so I dealt with people with a lot of anger. And I can't have you two people sleeping together. You can't couple up in my program. And it was all about me not loving them, was all about the way they were making me look. And that was it. And that was it. And I had to get goddamn honest with that's what it is. That if they weren't in my program and I showed up at somebody else's program and they were doing the exact same thing, I could go, oh, they're cool. They're fine. But when they're in my program, all of a sudden now there's these insecurities and fears. And there's this voice in his head that wants me to dominate them and wants me to tell them that they can't do that here. And all of that was me living in hate. So I lived in hate and not love. So I went about the business of responsibility. And when I mean responsibility, I'm talking I can never blame how I feel on someone else. I can't do it. So I can never blame my hatred on someone else's behavior. It isn't that they're behaving that way. That's not what's blocking my love. It's that I'm judging that they're behaving that way. And the reason I'm judging they're behaving that way is because it means something about me. And I used to have a girlfriend, one of my exes, and she would get on her shorts, but she was a little overweight. And she'd put the shorts on that were a little too tight. And it put me into judgment. And so now I'm sitting there with her going, are you really going to wear that out in public? Do we need to go, can you put something else on? And now I'm with the person walking through the mall or a hotel, and all I'm thinking about is the way this makes me look. And very hard to love someone when they're wearing that shit. And so there I am, walking down the mall going, Jesus Christ, do you see the skin coming over the edge of these shorts? And oh my God, what are the people going to think about me? They're going to think I'm with oh geez. But me loving her wearing those shorts was not the reason I wasn't loving her. It was my insecurities about the way I looked. You see? Because if it wasn't my girlfriend, it was just another person, I would have an easy time loving that person. And easier to stay out of judgment. See, we can either be in judgment or we can be in love. There is no two ways about it. There's not a chance to be both. It is impossible. You can be in judgment or love. And now you ask yourself, when you're with your loved one, how much time are you in judgment compared to how much time you're in love?
I can tell you, when you get to this realization you're talking about, it is so freeing, that tightness that you're describing. I really resonate with that because, it took a long time, and I'm not saying it doesn't creep back up, right? Because we are creatures of habit, and it's like something you always have to work at. But it is so much more freeing to be able to not have that that fear of what other people are going to think about you when you start talking about your son or daughter in addiction. For me,
now
So
your boy is in jail, correct?
yes, you want to see a great picture of him? I saw him on Sunday.
Okay. All right. Now, the rubber will meet the road
I know.
if he gets out of jail and starts using drugs and dominating you again.
Yep, that's why he's going to come see you. Which he is completely open to, by the way, Art. He
He what?
is completely open to.
Nice.
Lisa.
We just have
Yeah,
to
Lisa.
orchestrate.
Oh, I don't know. I've had my
I put that up a while ago. Now I don't remember what I raised my hand about, but Jolie's on a plane here and I'm anxious because she doesn't sound excited to come home.
Yeah,
So-
she's tough to love right now.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
She's very
I'm-
tough
yeah.
to love. She's very tough to love. She's being and I have to work hard because my judgment of her prevails, and I'm trying to love her, but my own, her watching her and seeing the way she behaves, it's hard to believe that she's not feeling sorry for herself. And to watch her in that mode of being a victim to life is tough. It's tough. And I'm not convinced of whether it's chemical or not. And
When you say chemical, you mean just that intrinsically she's got like an imbalance as far as happy endorphins in her brain, or she's using something
Yes.
chemical?
No, she's not using anything chemical, but I lean 50-50 whether she needs to be medicated or not.
Well, here's the thing though. In the past, I mean, she's gone to the doctor for the doctors, I have thrown out bottles and bottles of pills because oopsie, sorry about that. She will be prescribed something, but she won't take it and follow through. So that's been a challenge. And the other part of it is, our family, like my family history, there's people that have taken medication, but it's a temporary fix, right? It's not. Mark and I have gone and talked to her about this over and over again. Like it's okay to go ahead and start something, but stay on it consistently so you can see if it's effective and then keep going if it is. But, ultimately it has to be something coming from you, because I've seen it even with my mother who, has claimed to have anxiety and depression her entire life. And now she's finally off everything for the last 3 months and in recovery herself with alcoholism. And she's a completely different person and she's happy. See, but she was using all these medications forever and ever. So, and she was a mess. So, I mean, I get concerned about both sides of this, Art.
There's either that or she needs to get off the Suboxone completely, the Subutex.
I would like to see her do that.
Yeah, that could also be it. Okay. I want to go, Lisa, I get it. She'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's just Jolie. We just got to work her through this part of the journey. She's fine. All I wanted to do today was get the conversation on the right track. If we don't keep the conversation on how hard it is, see the question, the thing that we state, and it would be great to just keep that as the opening kind of remembrance. Yeah. The remembrance, and to be able to say, you know what we should start this moms group with? We're going to start it with how difficult it is to love our kids. And when we talk about how difficult it is to love our kids, we then never blame the kids. So we talk about the difficulty and then talk about what's actually blocking us from this experience of love. And we don't get to blame the behavior of the kid. And we don't get to say that they are going to need to change. And we kind of put the responsibility of loving this person on us. And at that point, when you said, it is my responsibility to be love, to be what I am, it is my responsibility. Now, none of this means that if I'm love, that I'm allowing. None of it means that. It doesn't mean I am love, therefore they get to walk all over me and do whatever I want. It means I live in love in my body, that the resistance that I've now started to note, that it finally became noteworthy to say when I'm around my loved one, when I talk to my loved one, inside my body, there is severe resistance. And I cannot love from that resistance. And that resistance is caused by my own fears and my own insecurities. And it's not that I need to fix the person. It's that I must get rid of this resistance. And if I feel my body in pain and resistance, that's preferable to letting it go to the mind and blame the person for the resistance. So, here we are. Now, when I operate with my kid, what happens is I don't speak to them from resistance. You will know that you're speaking to your son or daughter from resistance simply on whether they get defensive or not. If your son or daughter is defensive, that means that you came at them from your own resistance. So I just want the conversation to be important, to be beneficial enough, and for you guys to see that if that is not the conversation, then what you will be talking about is the waiting game. We are all going to come here and discuss the improvements that they're incrementally making or not making, so that one day, possibly if they make all these improvements, I'll get to experience love with my kid again. And so we'll update each other every week. And when my kid is doing phenomenal, I'll have this experience of love, and I'll be able to come talk about the good part. And mom's group will be the place to be. When my kid's doing good, when I'm feeling good, mom group is the spot. When my kid's doing shitty, when I'm experiencing hatred or anything, I'm too tired. I got to work. Can't come today. But then we come, my kid's doing good. Then we get to go on with about the thing about how we used to be. This is how I used to be. Well, what changed it? Well, my kids started doing better. Okay. Well, that ain't it. This was given to you. This addiction showed up for you. You have to see it that way. It showed up to show you your own judgment, your own insecurities, your own fears. The way you treat your kid is also the way things are happening for you at work. People that have a hard time confronting their addict son also think they deserve a raise and have never told their boss.
That is not true.
And Carrie listens in judgment, not love. So she snaps on me when.
Well, I speak in truth.
And that's how you speak at work too.
No.
Oh, at work you go in and people oppress you?
Well, actually, I don't work anymore, but
Yeah.
I didn't play victim because of my son at work.
No, never said that. What I said was the way you treat your son and daughter will be the same way that you are at work.
No.
If you're a non-confrontational person, you will be non-confrontational with your kid. If you're a confrontational person, you'll be confrontational with your kid. You think that you're different than confrontational? You're confrontational now.
I am. Well, it's a two-way conversation, and I'm not going to sit back and just let you tell me how I am at work or how I was at work. Sometimes you have to stand up.
But I didn't tell. Listen, what I said was this showed up for you. So how did it show up for you? And I said, some people will come to me and they won't be able to confront their kid and tell truth. And that same person will go to work and not be able to tell truth and confront their coworkers or their boss. and they will live as a victim and oppressed. So now, how did this show up for you? Why did this show up for you?
What's it?
Bundles addiction. Why did it show up for you?
Because he was at a party and we talked through this last week, or not last week, a couple months ago.
Why did it show up specifically? Let's say there's a God. What is he trying to teach you?
I don't know. And I'm being honest. I don't know.
I know. And I'm telling you, what does God give us? Lessons or blessings? You will continue to get the lesson until it turns into a blessing. They'll give you lessons until it's a blessing. So I'm suggesting, what is the blessing here? Is the story, I couldn't love my kid.
A blessing.
I couldn't love my kid until he got better. Or is the story, I figured out how to love my kid before he got better. I know it's hard to believe, but we haven't corrected anyone's behavior here in weeks, maybe months. How is that possible?
They're not open.
No, they're behaving great.
The behavior is correcting. What he means by that is we haven't corrected the behavior, but the behavior in this house is correcting.
Yeah. Okay.
It's incredible.
The personal.
They come here and they behave. Why?
Because you're loving them where they're at.
Because they're loved and accepted. And because they're loved and accepted, they feel a quality inside them of good behavior. They want to prove to that love and to that acceptance that they're good. And they come and they do it. And I've been on the opposite end of it, where I was in fear of them, and I wasn't and I wanted them to like change, and it became a war. And I was always in the war. And I used to have a debt, like when my body tightens and I get insecure, my mind is against people. So it's against. So when my body tightens, I feel against. I feel as if the people aren't people anymore. They're objects that are in my way. And so when you treat people like objects that are in your way, they will get defensive and they will go the other direction. So where it got to a point where I realized that I was going to burn up, and I couldn't live my life against people, because I realized I can be in judgment of my job or I can be in love with my job. And to be in love with this job, you got to be in love with the people. And to be in love with the people, it took monumental years of work. And it started with the fact that I stated the truth, that I didn't love people, that I'm living in hatred. And then living in hatred became my problem, not theirs. And living in judgment became my problem, not theirs. Is it true that doing drugs is a bad behavior? Absolutely. Is it true that all these behaviors are bad? Of course. Is it true that stuffing my belly with pizza all night is a bad behavior? Yes. But is somebody telling me that it's a bad behavior going to help me?
Right.
I send you podcasts.
I feel like it's almost impossible to break free from that feeling. I mean, I'm even thinking right now at the moment more so with my mother than with Jolie, because my mom is such a bad alcoholic that when she quits drinking and she goes through this change, it's like everything is better. Like, it's like I forget the past. I mean, everything's good. I mean, it's this weird, she's such a different person. And then when she's using, I hate her.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like she's just like a complete narcissist. I mean, it's like impossible. It feels impossible. I don't know how to detach from that feeling.
Well, let me
because-
give you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it just seems, and you know, and Jolie, I guess I didn't feel that much as much that way with my daughter, because somehow I felt like my daughter's situation is my fault. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like this weird dichotomy, the relationships. I mean, yes, I would get angry with Jolie, but I'd be in fear because I'm like, fuck, this is all my fucking fault that she's not okay.
Yeah.
I did everything wrong, you know?
So
So-
let me give you a glimpse of what would happen if your son or daughter died today. All you would experience is love. That's it. The judgment would be gone, and the only experience left would be love. You wouldn't sit there and go, God, but he didn't get a job. God dang it, but he didn't get his life together. All you could experience was the love you have for your kid, and all you would remember is that. So what an illusion we're under. What a cloud of veil of judgment that stops us from loving. And it even scares people to go, well, I wouldn't, if I was around my kid and I just love them, what's that going to do? What the hell's that going to do? They need to ship it up. They need to shape up. And who's going to push them to shape up if I'm not doing it? And I try to tell these kids the same thing. I said, I know when I talk to them about being loved, their first questions become, yeah, but how do you get these people to stop doing shit to you? And it prevents the work because they already got excuses. The self already comes in and tells you why that's not going to work because it doesn't want to die. So now you got to go see. And there it was. I used to think the same thing. Yeah, but if I don't tell them to make their bed and get on them and nag at them, they won't make their bed. And then you figure out that if you accept the way they are and love them, they'll make their bed. They'll want to feel the light of you.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was thinking. Art is that I love analogies. And it's like darkness and light. Well, when you have light, darkness cannot exist. So
That's right.
it's always, you know, shining the light. I have a little plaque in my bathroom I read every day, and it says, if you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine.
And I think it starts with a surrender.
Exactly.
Okay. So when it starts with a surrender, and it's simply this: I don't care to talk you into this anymore. I don't care to keep arguing about it. All I'd like you to do is feel your body tighten. That's it. I just want you to talk to your loved one and feel when your body tightens. And that's it. And then come back to me and talk to me about how you had an experience when your body tightened around your loved one. And then kind of look and see what happens after that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because that's just the practice. But I can't intellectually explain to you what's going to happen. So I didn't know what was on the other side of me ridding myself of these insecure feelings. I didn't know what came. I wasn't talked into it. I did it for my own survival. I got to the point where I could not stand anymore these insecurities and what it led me to. I couldn't live that way anymore. I had to be at ease. And I could no longer be at ease because I was so tight from my clients. So I couldn't go play poker and enjoy it. I couldn't go away on a vacation and enjoy it. I couldn't do anything and go enjoy it because I was always getting texts about stupid shit that they were doing. And so then my body would tighten and I would need to yell. So I would call and get someone on the phone and yell at them. And I'd feel real better after I yelled at them for a little while. And then that would relieve me of the tension because I got to vent out the anger. Or I'd find somebody else to complain to and vent out the anger and say, can you fucking believe this shit's going on? Because I was dominated. And then I simply just had Michael Singer tell me what to do. And he said, stay in your seat of consciousness, stay in love, and watch what tries to pull you out. So you try to be in love.
Started the book yesterday.
All right.
What's the book?
Untethered Soul.
It's a great book.
Yeah. So you just be love and then see what tries to pull you out. And when you go from love to anger, your body will tighten. When I am in acceptance, I'm in love. When I am in non-acceptance, I am in judgment and hate. And I feel against the world. So you imagine, you can only love things that are right. Think of that. Something has to be right for you to love it. And think about all the ways that we think of people and how wrong they are. And now think of how difficult it must be to love people with all their wrongness. If you love a bowl of ice cream, it is perfect. It is right. You see, if you love a human, they are perfect and they are right. And so you better figure out a way to get there.
Our brains are wired for survival. And so if we constantly have this feeling of insecurity, which I loved how you kind of connected the dot to safety, then if we're feeling unsafe whenever we have these thoughts, encounters, or what have you, our brain always goes to judgment because we're trying to provide a sense of safety for our nervous system.
That's right. If you had to walk through the forest of the Amazon, you would get very judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
And you would
So I guess I say that because it's normal, it's natural, but we have to have that awareness to know that it's happening so we can figure out how to change it.
Well, the thing about judgment is people think that they shouldn't be judgmental and that they should tell people that they're non-judgmental. And it's absolutely ridiculous because all that's going on when you walk down the street, if you look close, is judgment, 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 judgment. You go to the store, watch the judgment. You're judging the people in the store, the prices of the food. You're judging everything. That's all you're doing is judging all day. And for people to go, no, I'm a very non-judgmental person. How'd you do that? You would have no protective way of being. You just walk down the street and you see a gangster with a Crip bandana on and you just go, I don't judge him. And you walk right towards him. You see 4 gang members outside your car. You don't lock the doors. You just leave them open. No, I'm non-judgmental. You see somebody, with a bag in an airport walking around, planting a bag under a seat, and you go, not here to judge. That's all we do is judge. We judge the bank teller, how quick she's doing it. We judge the other drivers, how they drive. We judge where people park. We judge what our husband says. We judge what the TV says. We turn on Fox News and we judge them. We turn on Trump and we judge him. And then we turn on Biden and we judge him. And we judge and we judge and we judge and we judge. And that's what we do all day. So let's get real. So if you get real, now you'll see that all that judgment is blocking you from loving the world. And once you see that, You no longer have to wait for the world to change. You can actually figure out how to love the world because you can monitor and override the judgment. You can see it and then you can override it. You can kind of go, oh, I see the judgment of my kid right now. Okay, what's that going to do? What's the judgment going to do? Good luck with that. Well, I'm going to tell them how I judge them and then they're going to change. Haven't you tried that before? Don't you end up in a circular conversation?
Patterns of behavior.
Yeah, like talking to a brick wall, asking it to stop being a brick wall. Man, it's like that. So I'm telling you,
I have
and
to
I'm
say
not.
that.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the death. My bandwidth is kind of low here, so I don't know. Trying to go all the way across the pond, it's not working so well right now. The death thing that you said really got me because I think before I probably, it's hard to kind of relate when something really hasn't happened. Like none of my kids have died, right? So, sometimes it's kind of hard to think about something like that. But it did really get me because of with my husband's sudden death. And yep, instantaneously, love, 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 love. Oh my God, I miss him. Love, love, love. And what I'm left with is guilt of things that I was judgmental or angry about with him for something. And it's too late to say that was so stupid, right? So that really hit home for me, and to look at my kids and other people differently. And my mom, I'm angry at my mom for what she did with the no contact order against Mason and his dogs and stuff like that. And I need to not be judgmental about those things, and that my mom is still here with me and I need to love her right now and not have any of this. I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So totally hit home.
Well, let's get even down to the nastiness of judgment. Because at the core of the judgment is this is a bad person. This is a defective person. You see, so what it does is it disregards any positive reason why they're in the situation they're in. Any other, it's called fundamental attribution error, which is a bias that our mind has that says anytime somebody else is behaving poorly, it's because they're defective or bad. But anytime I behave poorly, it's because there's an external cause. So I behave poorly because you did that, or you said that, or I don't have any money because of this or this or this. And this person behaves poorly because they're an asshole. They're disrespectful. They're, lazy. And our judgment goes right to those things. So basically, we get at a point where we're like, you would be a good person if you did this. And you're not a good person because you're doing this. And you should be good like I'm good. You see? If I could look at these kids and go, you guys just need to choose recovery like I did. You need to pull it together. And I don't know why you don't have any money. You need to start getting money because it's so stupid to not have money. So you need to pull it together. You need to quit making all these bad choices, and you got to get some money. Well, okay, now I'm disregarding their whole life. I'm disregarding what it is that they go through and what's going on with them and the difficulties and their struggles. And I can look around, and I used to say this all the time. I used to go to McDonald's. I was a kid. I was in my 20s. And I would sit at a McDonald's, I get the 2 cheeseburger meal, a 6-piece McNugget, a big Coke, and a large fry, and I would demolish it. And then somebody that was a little overweight would come walking into the McDonald's, and I'd go, geez, what are they doing here? How dare them come into the McDonald's? They should not be coming to McDonald's. Well, guess what? Now I'm that guy that shouldn't be walking into McDonald's. And now I understand how goddamn enticing it is to go into McDonald's, and how you don't want to be going to McDonald's, but you're going anyways. And how deeply you can feel guilt-ridden inside, and how much of a struggle it is to be living in this, this realm of like, I'm doing things I don't want to do and I'm doing them anyways. And I understand now. I understand why people don't just pull it together with food. It's hard as hell. It's a struggle. I understand why people don't just pull it together with money. I understand why people don't just make a choice to stop things. I understand why people smoke cigarettes and kill themselves. I understand it. And because I understand it, I don't judge it anymore. I understand why people steal. I get it because I've stolen. I understand why people have extramarital affairs. I get it. I get it. I don't judge it. And all it did was made me feel good about myself when I could judge other people's failures. For some reason, I like to see people fail and I like to judge them. That was the nasty side of me. Now when somebody fails and they don't get it, I go, oh, man, that sucks for you. That sucks, man. Because I know you don't want to be here and you're here. So we have to remember at the core of this protective thing, it's a really nasty place when we deem that teller at the bank and we judge her. We have no idea what's making her slow today. We have no idea the external forces in her life. And I can sit there in a bank and nastily go, God, this teller is a piece of shit. And I can be that way. And I have to override myself. You see? Because that's how I can be. I can call every driver a piece of shit. I can call a homeless person an asshole. I can call people lazy and stupid all day if I let myself go wild. I can judge the way my parents were parenting to me, how they did it. Well, if I was a parent, I wouldn't do it this way. Yeah, but Art, you're not. Yeah, but they should have known better. They should have been better parents. Then they die. And you go, oh, shit. I should have loved my parents. But I couldn't because I wasn't practicing. Because I took love for granted and I just tell people I love everybody all the time when it's not true. Because to love people is to get rid of self. And that's a full-time path. Love my parents, I have to get rid of the little Art that feels victimized by them. I have to be bigger than that. And that takes work because that little Art comes out when his body gets tight. When I feel it, oh, why didn't they do this? I get like that.
Active deep breath.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it should bring you to your knees. Slows us down. What are we really doing here on this experience? What are we really doing? What's this about? And I can't think of how it could be about anything else other than finding love and finding God. And I cannot think of a better way or what I should be doing with my time is trying to love the world And if I say that that's what I'm trying to do with my time, love the world, I have to see what's in the way and I have to do the work. And I have to admit to myself that I don't love the world, I fear the world. And in order for me to love the world, I have to love people. I have to quit fearing them, and I have to quit fearing the world. I got to go with wisdom. It's going to be okay. I got to trust the universe. And so you see what this is about. I think this thing showed up for all of you and brought you to your knees to show you how to love. It said, you think you love? Prove it. Prove it. You think you're capable of it? Prove it. You won't be able to prove it until you admit how difficult it is. How difficult it is to walk into the store and feel love with anyone in that store. How difficult it is to walk into a job and feel love with your coworkers. How difficult it will be to have Thanksgiving and actually love the people that are in that room. There is an enormous difficulty because what goes on in my head when I'm trying to love them is all the bullshit they've done in the past, all the things that they might do in the future. Here comes Uncle Mike. This guy's going to screw up Thanksgiving and get drunk and piss everyone off. And there it's over for Uncle Mike that day. You're not going to be able to love him. And one by one, everyone's eliminated from your love. Because they're all doing something wrong. That guy didn't get up help. I remember my uncle Skinny. His name was Vern. They called him Skinny. And he would never wear his shoes or socks. And he had these gnarly nails. And so we'd have Thanksgiving and he'd put those gnarly feet up on the table. I remember being a little kid, seeing those little claws coming out of his toes. It was disgusting. You had to, I can't love Skinny. This guy. I can still picture those feet. I still picture the table those feet was on. I know exactly how he was sitting. Skinny's feet. He had all those liver spots all over. He was an old. Yeah. Ooh. Any questions before we go? Comments?
Can we leave on a better picture than Skinny's feet? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving table is going to be ugly.
You guys have to eat a bunch of Thanksgiving for me. It's not a holiday here, so I have to work. Don't get Thanksgiving.
We'll have some extra turkey for you, Danielle.
Yeah.
I told when I go home for Christmas that Christmas Day we're doing turkey and everything. So I'll have Thanksgiving.
Where are you?
Danielle's going to be at the UK. She's in the UK, but she's going to come into town for our mom's group. So 2 weeks from today, everybody, our mom's group, it won't be on Zoom. It's going to be in person. And that's at Kristen's house.
I will be there.
I'll be
Awesome.
there.
I'm
Awesome.
coming.
I can't wait. It starts at 11 and we'll put a memo out on maybe a little something simple to bring so we can kind of have a little spread, and then it's just to whatever time we stop gabbing. Renee's going to start us out with some for meditation again, and I'm just so excited to see y'all in person. So any of y'all that can join us, please do.
Carrie, come spend the night.
I'll be in Maui
Oh, well,
on my way.
So that's so awesome.
Good for you.
That's so awesome.
Otherwise, I
was
would
gonna say, oh, bummer, you won't be there with us, but it's pretty cool that you're going to Maui.
And where does Kristen live?
Lake
What's
Taps.
Okay,
We'll stick the address in the mom's group. Darlene, I don't think do you do Messenger, Darlene?
Yeah, I get texts, so
Okay, if you're on Messenger, Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook. I
Oh,
just
okay.
because I can't remember my password. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Just remind me via text that you need the address
Okay.
and I'll shoot it to you via text. So I don't forget that. Yeah.
What date is that, Angie?
That's December 6th. So 2 weeks from today, December 6th. And then December 5th, I fly in that morning. So I'll be there for the watch party that night. So any of you local people who can join, so we can just fill up the shop with a lot of good Christmas energy that night. For
Yeah, but my flight lands at 5, so I won't be able to make it. But
Okay. Okay. But yeah, any of you
I'll go to the
that-
next one.
Perfect. Yeah. Any of you that can join me and while I'm there that night and then the next day at Mom's Group. And
If
you
my
guys,
mom's up for mom's group, is she allowed to come?
oh, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. All ladies invited. Absolutely. So you ladies have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to have a great one here. I'm going to take lots of pictures. There's 22 of us. Only 3 people flew home. So there's 22 of us down here. It's our first one in Vegas, and we're going to just have an incredible time. So can't wait to enjoy the loved ones that are with us. They're in good
Thank
hands.
you.
We're going to love on them tomorrow. Gonna have some good food. Bailey's actually helping with the shopping today.
Good.
Nate flew in to do some cooking. Hopefully he's
nice.
actually sick though, so hopefully he'll be okay to do that. But we've got Kat here cooking. We got the whole gang. Everybody's pitching in, doing something.
And is Teresa making she made mac and cheese on Thanksgiving here, and it was really good.
I told him, do that for your birthday the day after. How about that? We have too many other things going on. I was like, she was like, mac and cheese. Everybody has their opinions on what should be added, but we're trying to keep tomorrow traditional, and then all those extra things and ideas throughout the weekend to like an extension to make it a little less chaotic. Because we've got one oven, and between the grad houses we have 2. So, but yeah, so we we have to pick and choose. Everybody has all their special things, and throughout the weekend we'll get to all of them. But tomorrow we're trying to keep it a little traditional.
Very cool.
So it's going to be a great day, and I'll take lots of pictures. And all of you, I hope that you have an amazing Thanksgiving and connected with your loved one, and that you can be love and focus on that experience. This was beautiful. This is so good. I can feel you all. It was so good.
Happy
So
Thanksgiving.
yes, thank you. And we will see you all next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
next week, happy Thanksgiving, all.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.